Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Ain't That Something? And it's your girl Eve. We are here. We are here. Okay, back again. I got to get something off my chest tonight. And before I get into all of that, I just want to give a big shout out to those that have been following me since day one and those that have been putting it down in the comments with the feedback, DMing me. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the engagement. And we're going to keep this going. Okay. So let's jump into it, y'all. All right. So I'm not one to really indulge in a lot of the reality shows, but every now and then I get hooked in to a show or two. And right now, I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a little hooked on the show currently trending Married at First Sight. Or wait, no, my bad. Love. No, it is Married at First Sight. Okay, I'm thinking about the other one, Love is Blind, but not that one. Um, Married at First Sight. I think I've only watched the show like one other time, and that was maybe 10 years ago. Well, it was a while back. I can't remember exactly when, but it was a minute. And every time I watch this show, I just have feelings that stir up inside of me. And I know that's what the show wants. That's what they're doing. That's the formula, and it's working, right? I'm here to admit that. But it's interesting though, because although it may invoke some emotions from its audience, there's also some things that I've recognized in the show, along with other shows like this, that are patterns. So when I'm watching it, and plus I'm a creative and, I understand theater and drama and, storyboarding and all of that. So I understand that when we watch shows like this, there is a lot of curating and kind of structuring the scenes so that it's interesting, right? Because if we put a bunch of people in front of each other and just kind of let them do it on their own, not always are we going to get something that's worth watching. So let me just put that disclaimer out there. I understand this is TV, okay? However, TV, movies, they do what they are supposed to do, and that is bring out some type of reaction from its audience, and then thus it leads to these conversations. If you haven't watched the show, this is all like just my pure opinion on it and my insight that I want to discuss. But I want to jump into the show and what's going on right now, particularly because there is a young lady on there that I feel has been casted to represent a large population of Black women. The woman that is independent, successfully, grounded with herself. She's established. And unfortunately, that successful Black woman oftentimes is still single and never had the opportunity to, or the chance to be married or have kids. And now, this particular woman on the show, she represents like the older 45 plus group or category of women. Now, when we say, or when I say 45 plus, oftentimes there's an image that will maybe pop into your head of what that looks like. But if you haven't seen the show, I'm going to just describe this young lady. She's very beautiful, attractive, very fit, well spoken, well put together, has style, like a really classy lady, right? And just hasn't met her person. For whatever reason, she decided to go on the show. Hey, it's your free will. She's on the show. Okay. She gets matched with a decent individual. I'm not going to say he's just like completely unattractive, but he is what I would consider an average Black guy. Like, nothing really stands out about him that is super intriguing. Like, he's not really muscular. He's not, doesn't have any like distinctive features that make him look a certain way. So he's just an average dude. Like, that's not a bad thing. Okay. He is educated. He does, have some type of career going for himself. But like a lot of guys that I've seen in this category that are single, they tend to just kind of live a very simplistic life. Nothing wrong with that. Like, do what you do. And, they kind of are in their own little bubble world and like do what's comfortable. They don't do too much. They're articulate, educated, all of the things. But not really, you know, everybody's cup of tea. If you saw him and you saw someone else, that was a little more eye candy appealing, can dress, has style, walks with confidence, you probably wouldn't pay him any mind. Okay. So they paired this gentleman up with this lady. And from the beginning, I felt disrespected for her because when they first met down the aisle, she was kind of looking like, wait, is this my guy? And he's looking like, oh my goodness, like she's so beautiful, like wow. But then as they start this journey and have like different moments where they're getting to know each other, we start to see this part of his personality that is not that appealing because at times he seems to question her or kind of even school her a bit in his approach. It just seems a little like he's coming for her, and she recognizes it and she handles herself very well with kind of shutting him down or calling it out when it happens. And each time that she's done that, like he always backpedals and is like, no, 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 you misunderstood me. That's not what I meant. Blase, blase. Okay. Now we're at a portion where the relationship is kind of looking like is moving in somewhat of a positive direction. We're getting closer to the end of the show right now, and she then reveals to us that off camera he made a statement to her, and the statement was, well, you're a 10 in Seattle, but in New York you would be a 7. Instantly I was like, okay, there's something going on beyond just how he's coming at her and what they're presenting to us, right? I don't even think that he necessarily said that. I feel as though maybe the producers maybe dropped that in his ear to say something like that or whatever to kind of rage bait everybody that's listening, because clearly when you see these two together, she upgrades him. Like, she's a benefit to him. I'm sorry to say it. Like, this is literally one of those couples that you see that either the gentleman has like a lot of money and this woman has been with him and, she's with him because of that prestige, like status. But in this case, that's not what we are perceived to believe by him. Like, maybe he does have his finances in order, but he's not, someone who's well established in a career that he's making millions of dollars or hundreds of Ks of dollars a year. Okay. Like I said, he seems very average. So, with that being said, I was like, people's response and my initial response was like, whoa. Like, first of all, why is he trying to humble her? Because that's what it seems like he's been doing since the very beginning. Because why? She's completely out of his league. And if it wasn't for this show, he would not be able to even have a conversation with her. Like, he's that much of a lame individual. just the way he presents himself, just how he talks to the other gentlemen. Like, he does not come off like he has an authentic sense of security with himself. Okay. Now, mind you, I don't know him, but that's just the character that he's being portrayed as right now. Like I said, initially I had that moment like, excuse me? Like, number one, how old are you? Like, why are you even playing I'm rating this woman that I've decided to go along with and quote unquote be married to? Why am I even saying anything remotely that would try to tear her down? But then I started thinking, and I was like, you know what? This is bigger than them. This particular season and episode, whenever you watch these shows, you have to really understand that the producers have an agenda and they are doing things in order to get that audience. But sometimes what they're doing, just like when they stereotype certain people and certain women, and it, sends this message out to the masses of like, oh, this is how these type of women are, or this is how this type of or group of people are. The same thing is happening with this show. And I don't like that part. I don't like that part of the show because, number one, I feel like the show played in this girl's face. Like, she came on this show genuinely looking for, who knows? Like, maybe she came on the show looking for fame. Maybe she came on the show truly looking for somebody to connect with or whatever. But even if she was just on the show to get exposure and kind of dive into now this entertainment world, still, why do it this way? Why not give her an opportunity to really meet someone who is on her caliber? I'll tell you why. Because there is a narrative out there that women that meet her profile, that are Black, that are educated, that are successful all the way around, okay, established, and that means like good credit, own a home, owns their car, has something, travels, okay, has a passport, is not just staying at the bottom of the rankings. There's a narrative that like that type of woman, once she reaches a certain age, 40 plus, even sometimes even early 40s, late 30s, this narrative is built up that like, oh, this is a Black woman who's just been focused on her career and now she's 40 plus years old and she's not desirable. And so her only chances or her only options is to get with this average Joe right here. Here you go. Like, humble your whole self. Like, yeah, you may think you're all that, but girl, you're 46. You're almost 47 even. You can't get a Morris Chestnut. Like, that's not in your cards, in your deck of cards. But we can give you this wannabe Spike Lee. Like, you can have him. And I think that is absurd. Like, to play in a woman's face and to portray a successful Black woman as a woman who's undesirable by anybody that would be on her level. There's plenty of 40 plus men that don't have a dad bod, that exercise, that travel, that are established and have their own homes and are making a decent living, not just 100K, that could match her. And you mean to tell me this show that interviewed all of these people, all of these applicants that wanted to be on the show, they didn't find anybody that would compliment her? I call cap in the highest level, because It's all a game to make Black women look as though we need to humble ourselves. We need to lower our standards. Our standards are too high, especially if you are 40 and up. Like, how dare you? Who do you think you are to think that you can get someone who has a six pack, who can bench press? Who are you to think that you can have that? And I just don't agree. I don't agree with that narrative because it really puts this stigma on women, and it's discouraging when it doesn't have to be, because thousands of people are watching the show and thousands of women that are in this young lady's position right now, like, they just have not met the person for them, and they don't want to settle for a Sean. Like, I don't want to date anybody like that. And I'm sure there's other women that take care of themselves, are attractive, do not want to be with a man that looks like that or portrays himself like that and treats her that way. Like, in my opinion, because this woman is someone that you could have probably never had a chance with, you need to be doing everything possible to treat her like a queen and treat her as though, like, hey, you're the woman of my dreams. You're successful, you're independent, you've been doing well for yourself, you don't have a bunch of baby daddies. Like, yeah, I'm going to treat you well. But he's not doing that. And that's why I'm like, I don't like it. But I'm going to tell y'all, I don't even want to finish watching the show because I have a strong feeling that she's staying with him just to get through the show. And of course, I don't know how it's going to end or where these people are going to go. And, I'm never going to meet these people or anything like that. But I just have to say, I don't like the overall message that's being put out there. And to touch on his role in the show. Because let's say the producers didn't tell him to say that, and that's literally how he feels. There are so many men that truly walk around believing this and living this and repeating this stuff to respectable women every day. And where did y'all get it from? Where did you get this audacity from? You got it from your late, great Kevin Samuels, because he wanted to put women on this scale of excellence that doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you consider a woman a 10 today. 10 years from now, she might not even look the same. She may go through medical changes. There may be something that happens with her within her body, and she's not going to be that same physique. Like, it's got to be more than just a physical attraction. That's a bonus. But it's got to be more than men sitting up here putting, she's a 7, she's a 6. But you're not even rating yourself. Like, I want to ask that Sean guy, literally, would you date someone that's like you? Like, would you date a woman who looks and presents herself like you, who doesn't have any children, but looks like physically looks like she's had 3 kids? Would you do that? So why aren't you taking care of yourself? Why aren't you putting the effort in to take care of your own body? I remember someone told me that a dad bod is considered attractive, and women actually prefer a man with a dad bod. I don't know what survey that was and how they were speaking for me. I don't think so. I mean, even if I had a man that we had kids together, I'm hoping that he's working out with me. Because number one, I don't want you to have a dad bod, because that's going to lead to all the health problems later down the road when you're too, older and tired, and now it's harder for you to get in the gym. I don't want you to have a dad bod because I don't want you to grow older and now you can't even lift your own self up because you got all this weight on you. You don't have any muscles. You haven't been doing anything, right? So I don't I don't know why that's a thing, but to the women that's out there, if that's what you like, you know, hey, you like what you like, you love what you love. But I'm not a fan of surveys that try to lump everybody in one and say women think this is attractive. Not me. I'm sorry. Keep it moving. If you look like that, keep it moving. I don't want it. Um because I'm not going to let myself get to a point where I can't take care of myself, I got health problems. I'm going to do everything that I can to prevent it. Aging, that is just part of life. Taking care of your body, that's a choice, right? It really is. If you know and your doctors are telling you like, hey, your blood pressure is elevated. Hey, you need to watch your cholesterol. Hey, you need to lose a few pounds. You lose a few pounds, you'll be this or that. And you still don't listen to them, that's a choice. That's a choice. And so I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that unexpected things happen that we could have prevented, period. And I feel as though in this case with this young lady, you can tell she's taking care of her body. She's eating well. She's doing what she needs to do. And you gonna pair her up with this? Come on, man. Come on. That's not fair. So anyway, I say all of that to say this. The men out there that are living in that mindset and are quick to try to humble a woman and tell her that she's not as great as she is. And you do that by chipping her away and trying to demean her or talking down to her. You're not going to be with anybody. And I can guarantee you right now, there are men out here that have had opportunities to be with a woman like that, of that caliber, that are dedicated, sophisticated, educated, okay, successful, loving, all of it. And they have ruined it because they've probably said something like that. And then they're wondering why you're single. You're wondering why you're in the friend zone. Because you won't elevate yourself. You're quick to put somebody else down. You're quick to put that woman down. You're quick to try to outshine her or be in competition of her because you are not meeting your own goals. You're not even setting your own goals. You want her to just kind of water herself down to be on your level. So taking jabs like that, trying to find insecurities, sir, it's not the way to go. You're going to find yourself old and alone, and nobody going to want you. Okay? So that's the reality. That's the real reality. And research has shown that plenty men are in those hospice without their family, without their kids, and without a wife by their side. So that's all I have to say. I had to get that off my chest because I just feel they're misrepresenting this woman. They're misrepresenting Black women that, are in an upper level, that have worked hard to be who they are. And it just so happened that they haven't met that guy. Now, someone may argue, well, she's had all this time. I'm sure there's been plenty of guys that, have come and go. But that doesn't mean that that was the one for her. Okay? And we can also argue that, hey, maybe this is a learning experience for her. Maybe this is an opportunity for her to see that her standards have been too high. Maybe she's been too shallow. She's been looking for this or that in a guy. And so now we're going to pair her with this person who she typically wouldn't have given the time of day. And now it's going to magically teach her, like, this is what you should have been doing. I'm against that too, because this is not a lesson. That's not a lesson to be with somebody who's trying to break me down or break her down. How is that beneficial. It's not. All it is reversing the role of making someone else feel as though they are so needed and they are so, what this other person has been missing. I disagree to the highest degree. So, anyway, y'all, I'm off my soapbox. Like I said, I don't think it's necessary for women like that to be quote unquote humbled down by men saying things that's only going to insert and plant insecurities to make themselves feel better. So, however this show ends, y'all, I wish them all the best. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I just had to say that piece. All right. Until next time, y'all, ain't that something?